All right. For those of you watching after the fact, in the comments, leave any questions you have for our upcoming Q&A episode of At Home with the Dogginses. Cool. Let's see how this goes. Hello, friends. Hello. Perfect. This thing is working. That's all I ask, because often things don't work, as you know. Excuse me. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming. In the words of my favorite Star Wars character, I know this is probably your first YouTube live stream, and it's mine too. So if this ends up being a total disaster, I apologize in advance. But since the video that was supposed to go up today was not done rendering in time to go up today, and in fact is still not done rendering, then I am I thought I'd do this as a little bonus because, you know, just because everybody's home anyway. Who's here? Hello, friends. Hi, Mariah. Zoran, yes, it was. I've met the podcast The Ride Good Boys a few times now, mostly after live shows. But again, the Fry's Electronics thing was the most casual meeting I did with them. Yeah, I love. Yeah, Scott, I love doing Escape from Vault Disney, and I understand the hiatus because half the fun of doing Vault Disney is watching the movie together and comparing notes as we're watching the movie. It really would not be the same if we were recording it over Skype. And as long as we're distancing, the hiatus has to happen. But the upcoming episode is a lot of fun. I can tell you that much. Excuse me. I don't think I'm sick. I just have terrible sinuses and a terrible throat to begin with. But, you know, I'm being as safe as I can. Let me put the word out to Twitter that we are live. I also have terrible reflux. You don't need to hear about my health issues. Kazam is not the movie that is coming up. It is, I think the episode that teased the next one already came out. So yeah, it is Pinocchio, which is obviously a classic, but it is much weirder than any of us remembered. Yeah, this is a bad time for allergies. This is a bad, especially for me who has allergies and reflux and just all the other issues that at first glance could be mistaken for COVID symptoms, and I have to go out and deliver food to work anyway. Stargate SG-1. I watched a few episodes a few years ago. Morgan and I watched a little bit of the first season of Stargate SG-1, and we came to the conclusion that it's kind of the Universal Lower Lot, the TV series, because like, excuse me, because they're in a military base just like Transformers, and one of the characters is very Dr. Ellie Sattler, and they deal with ancient Egyptian culture, just like Revenge of the Mummy. The biggest thing I remember from the first couple of episodes of SG-1 is in the pilot, another character says to Richard Dean Anderson, yeah, we had to MacGyver this technology. And it's like, that's just shamelessly meta. Okay, now that people are gathering, welcome to my first ever attempt at a YouTube live stream. I've done Instagram live streams before, but those seem to be lower pressure while I'm doing them. This is my main thing. This is the place where I usually like to have things a little more polished before I put them on this particular platform. So that is obviously not what is happening today, but I thought what would be fun today, since the video that was supposed to be up this morning wasn't up, because it is still rendering as we speak. Since it is still rendering, I thought it would be fun to apologize for the fact that I have broken my streak for the past several years of having something on the YouTube channel every Sunday morning. And instead, I thought we'd go through some old videos of mine and I would do live commentary for you. And you can choose what we revisit. So any old video of mine, I have not seen that Twitter hashtag, but that new Disney quarantine rides, that sounds great. If you guys haven't seen it yet, the Remain Seated guys, Chris Nevergall and Matt Fazio, did one of those Disney attraction recreated at home videos that are all the rage on the internet this week. They did one for Alien Encounter, and it was very well done. So, who has a request for an old video of mine to revisit? California sneezing. Very good, Clark Griswold. Very good. I also have no idea how delayed this stream will be, so I may be reacting to what you say in the chat super duper late. The Glee sketch to start basic. Why not? Let us revisit at the offices of Glee. We'll start with there. That's short enough that it's easy to revisit. You probably recall that, or some of you who are on Patreon may have seen the commentary Nick and I did, the video commentary we did for all the Artie sketches a few years ago. So I will probably repeat some information from that as we go. But this one is not behind the paywall. Let me just set this up here. All right. I don't think we'll be able to get to everyone's request tonight, just because I have gotten so little sleep over the past couple nights, and I do want to get actual sleep at some point tonight. But we will go through as many as we can get to. And if this goes well, we will probably do this again sometime soon. But for now, let me just get this set up correctly. And let us revisit the origin of Artie. So, yes, this is such an anomaly now, because the only reason this video exists is at one point, the only thing we were mad at in the news was that Jonathan Colton was getting ripped off, and the video is buffering. That is probably going to be happening a lot. Maybe if I am so ready to just be completely fucking this whole thing up. I think if we do it at a lower resolution, it won't defeat the point of commentary.
Hey, any of you guys been on the internet lately?
What? The porn dispenser.
The glowy box with the letter buttons.
No, that's the computer. The internet is the tiny mailman inside.
The one with
So,
the
yeah.
pictures of cats.
We talked about this a little in the other commentary, but basically we wrote this in a very, very short amount of time. A aside from me and Nick, the other two cast members were called the morning of and asked if they were available and wanted to do it. So that they are friends of Nick from college. That's Dan Gajewski as Jones, and the other guy, Matt Stoner, as a character who we realized was not named in the video. So in the credits, we just named him with reference to one of our other favorite unnamed characters in a movie. And if you get that reference, we appreciate it. So yeah, we basically were just writing this 4-person dynamic just for the rhythm of it. We didn't really have full characterizations in mind beyond just the dynamic. The characters, like the character of Artie really came out when Nick tried on the suit and got the pipe and tried on the glasses, which are not his prescription, so they make him see the world kind of askew. So once he puts those glasses on, that's when he truly gets into character. And of course, me as Jenkins, who was only named because Nick improvised, now, Jenkins.
Facilities consisting of network computers using a standardized information protocol.
They have one of those?
The point is, some guy's claiming we stole his music.
Isn't
We also, Nick and I fought for a full hour over whether the line should be
But he's claiming that
they have one of those or we have one of those.
No, I'm serious. Apparently it was a really specific arrangement and everything, and he wrote his own melody for it, and now he's claiming we stole his music.
Oh, for God's sake. We're already paying the guy who wrote the lyrics. Now he wants to pay the guy who wrote the music as well?
Seems that way.
What bullshit. Music is a free resource, like oxygen. Or hookers.
You don't pay your hookers.
Why is this such a controversy? We've been stealing shit since day one and no one's ever cared.
That's a lie. We've never stolen anything. Everything we've ever done, we built ourselves.
We stole Greg Loswell's version of Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
I'm just watching this at this point.
Ever thought to play the piano slowly before?
We shot this at the public access TV station where Nick worked at the time.
That guy needs to get over himself.
All right, well, what about the joke that we used in the pilot?
You're gonna have to be more specific. I know for a fact there were at least 4 jokes in that pilot.
When that Bruno
Okay, hopefully not everything will buffer this terribly, but it probably will because my internet's not great. And I'm streaming from my Chromebook because my MacBooks are currently in use for rendering things. Or rather, my 12-year-old MacBook is rendering. My 10-year-old MacBook has a broken screen. I need more recent computers.
we stole Jane Lynch from Christopher Guest.
That was different. She would have left him anyway. He killed that Spanish dude's.
Okay, so he killed that Spanish dude's father is, of course, a reference to Christopher Guest playing Count Rugen in The Princess Bride, killing Inigo Montoya's father. That line may have been a little too obtuse for this. And then Matt's follow-up line about, yeah, but he plays guitar is a reference to Christopher Guest's role in Spinal Tap. And all of this is just because we prefer Jane Lynch's work in Christopher Guest movies. It's kind of an obtuse tangent that's probably the least comedically clear portion of the sketch. But what you gonna do? It moves by quickly enough.
Father.
Yeah, but he plays guitar.
You don't understand. We were trying to save her from herself. You see, we're not like every other show on television. We don't need to steal our material.
And why is that?
Because originality begets originality.
This is probably my favorite run in the thing. Nick as Artie giving this passionate rant and then the cutaway that follows.
Cutting edge and fresh as ours. And every thought that flows from that fountain of bitchy teen angst is pure, unadulterated gold.
Didn't we just sexualize High School Musical?
I don't know what that is, but it sounds gay. Jones, back me up on this.
I'm still stuck on there being an internet.
Look, the point is, the guy...
Dan is so good playing that clueless.
Exactly.
We would love to bring Dan and Matt's characters back in future Artie things, but they live in Connecticut and we don't anymore. So
No one pays me ad revenue.
it's not entirely off the table. It's just not as easy to coordinate as it was on that day.
Well, apparently the guy we stole fan base.
How can he have fans? He's not signed to a major corporation.
He makes his living independently. He has a lot of fans on the internet.
Now, Jenkins, you know Fox's policy. An internet fan only counts as 3/5 of a person.
Besides, there's no honor among
We might not have rushed to include that line nowadays, now that we realize what a persecution complex white people on the internet actually do have. It's a little less funny in a post-Gamergate world.
How the hell does he expect to make a profit in the first week?
I'm not convinced he did.
Well, now you're just talking crazy. What purpose is there in creative expression if you're going to try to skip a profit?
Beats the hell out of me, dude.
This is crazy. We're very busy men. We don't have time to be poaching internet musicians.
except for Darren Chris.
You direct Black Swan?
He plays the gay kid in our show.
This is our shout out to Darren Chris from Star Kid and whatnot.
God,
Yeah, 2011 was a very different
Damn it,
time.
He's not a hooker.
Wait a minute.
And that's where Artie gets named, just because, damn it, Artie, he's not a hooker, just was the funniest. Artie was the funniest name we could think of phonetically, and the name
People
stuck.
remember songs that came out more than 3 years ago.
Unless they came out in the 80s.
Sure. If they came out in the 80s, then they're worth stealing.
That's a lie. We never stole anything. Look, there are a finite number of possible musical arrangements for this song. You can't prove we used his.
It's possible we accidentally left his name in the song.
Oh, so we didn't credit him. Problem solved. Let's all get hookers.
Obviously, the timing of the sketch does not work nearly as well when there's all that buffering in the middle of it. And yeah, the little Party Down shout out, since Glee was the reason Jane Lynch didn't come back for season 2 of Party Down.
Sure, this is our version everyone's complaining about?
I don't even know. No, I stopped watching after that fake pregnancy bullshit.
I wrote that fake pregnancy subplot.
Shut up, Jones. Nobody cares.
And that was at the offices of Glee, the introduction of Artie, our most enduring character, and a character who only exists because we were mad at a TV show. 2011 indeed was a different time. There's so many more important things to be mad at right now. Yeah, the fact that they left the lyric "Johnny sees in trouble" like that, whatever. It's obviously water under the bridge at this point, but I am obviously very proud of what that sketch begat, because Artie is a character who is still making appearances to this day. Eventually, we will do the Artie mockumentary that is promised. And Artie may be making an appearance in one of my friend's videos that is dropping on April 1st, I think. Yeah, so what else is there to say about that sketch other than it led to our most enduring character, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun to do. I really want to be doing more sketches and whatnot, but you know, I have so many other videos to do, and let's face it, D-lists and obsessions are easier to write than original sketches. But yeah, okay, one video down. Let me scroll back up, see what other videos people requested. Let's see, where'd they go? Let's see. People are requesting some Dave Does Disney's, some D-lists. Artie is not in All Critics Must Die because that was filmed before Artie was created. That is not the video coming out April 1st that I was referring to, but I understand why you thought that. All Critics Must Die was filmed like the week I was added to Geek Vision. That tells you how long it's been going. But yeah, Artie was not created for another 2 years or so after that. But there have been, I don't think I'm telling tales out of turn to say that there have been ideas that have probably since long been abandoned, but there have been ideas for incorporating Artie into a Geek Vision movie. I don't know if that will ever happen because we all have so much on our plates with our individual projects as is. And the last time my friends tried to make a movie, it took until now for it to be released. But what you're gonna do? Okay, so a couple of requests so far. People have requested certain Dave Does Disney episodes. People have requested. Oh, someone is at my door. It is my fiance, Allie. Allie is here. Welcome to the live stream, Allie.
Oh, hi. Hello. Hi everyone. What's up?
It's the person I love.
Sorry, I keep backing through my glasses, baby.
Oh, it happens. We are going through old videos of mine, and I am talking about them.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, that is why I don't do animation very often, because it always takes forever. Oh, thanks.
Oh, thank you.
We try to be cute.
Mwah.
We don't care if anyone else thinks we're cute. We just care that we think we're cute.
True.
Okay, this is not going to turn into a voyeuristic watch us be a couple live
Says
stream.
you.
Okay, so I am throwing this out to the chat. What should we watch next? Keeping in mind that whatever we watch will spend most of its time buffering, so a longer video may be an extra slog to get through. Now we wait the 20 full seconds for my live streaming service to go to YouTube, and then the 20 full seconds for whatever people type in the chat to come back to the service.
Nice, nice. Do 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 do.
Oh yeah, it was good to meet you at GT.
We don't have running times memories, David.
You know, that's valid, but
Ew, David.
Lion King riff, that might be the Festival of the Lion King riff, that might be okay to do. Insofar as it's easy to commentate on a riff.
Mm-hmm.
How
does one comment on a riff?
How does one comment on a commentary? I will have to go deep through the archives to find it.
Hello.
Hi.
I love how the first thing you put Dave, it's Dave Ramsey, and then like Dave riffs.
Yeah, if I type Dave R.
Festival of the Lip Balm? I want to watch your rip of the Festival of the Lip Balm. I'm intrigued.
I don't think that's something that actually exists.
Learning Fire Knife, eh?
Okay. The Festival of the Lion King riff is 9 minutes long, so that's fine if you guys are just patient with the buffering.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me get it all queued up here.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't know how much I'll have to say about it in a commentary, but here we go.
The cafe commercial. I'm down for that.
Oh yeah, we can do the commercials after that.
Those gets from.
Okay, so yeah, we'll do Festival of the Lion King next, and then we'll do the commercials. While that's loading, let me get to some questions. Oh yeah, I'd love to do a kooky trail story. Obviously there's a lot on our plates right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sometimes watch That's So Raven on Disney Plus? I haven't yet. Starbucks Frappuccino parody, Festival Flip Bomb 2021. Yes, Ryan,
Mm-hmm.
we will make it happen.
We are doing the thing. We're loading the thing, so we can do the thing, Ryan.
Since the Pie Festival didn't happen, Festival of the Lip Balm needs to happen instead.
So we go to BeautyCon next year?
There we
No,
go.
DragCon. Ooh.
You have been wanting to get me to DragCon at some point, and I'm not saying no.
My theory is that DragCon is a form of themed entertainment. The way that Disneyland has themed attractions, drag queens are themed entertainment in themselves. So I feel like we could get a video out of it, just in general.
All right, so let's do this based on request. Let's do the Festival of the Lion King riff, and then let's do the commercial parodies, and then an Armchair Imagineering we can do after that.
Dave does Drag Confirmer. Yes!
These rumors keep spreading.
So do you want to tell about the one thing about how I relate to the D list? That one D list?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Where's the camera? There we are. Okay, let's get this. Cooperate, mouse.
First batch of videos was Animal Kingdom, since I had only been twice. So let's take a look at Camp Mini Mickey, which I assumed was just a kids area, but in actuality,
I forgot that this best of clip was about all of Camp Mini Mickey.
Oh.
Not there anymore because of Avatar.
I mean, makes perfect sense.
What wondrous campground things are there to do at this camp? Character meet and greets, and that's pretty much it. Why is this area so cheap? Well, it was originally supposed to be Beastly Kingdom, a fantasy realm that sounds absolutely kick-ass, complete with a dragon roller coaster.
I still have not been back to Florida since Avatar opened.
I haven't been back to Florida since I got arrested, so you know.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. I've been back to Orlando to watch a alligator eat a carton of cigarettes.
You just haven't been back to theme parks.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, I was remiss not to try and get to this before releasing the original Animal Kingdom video, considering when Animal Kingdom first opened, it was practically marketed as the Lion King Park. Located in a theater in the round that's bigger than a black box, this is just one of a handful of live shows based on Disney's animated flicks of the 90s, and I'll talk about some others when we get to Hollywood Studios. But the main thing that sets
someday we'll find it away down to Florida.
It's a festival held by the characters and their
Yeah, I think out of all the live shows based on... Yeah, it's wild that it wasn't in the Africa section to begin with. The only reason I can figure it wasn't was because Camp Mini Mickey needed the attractions.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes more sense in Africa. And
many an inexplicable decision was made due to, like, you know, needing some shit there.
Yeah. But yeah, Festival of the Lion King is far and away, I think, the best of the live shows based on 90s Disney animation. Because Beauty and the Beast is a bridge to the point of nonsense, as I pointed out in that riff. And the Little Mermaid one is just pointless.
Okay, I realize the idea is but why at Simba's Majestic Festival does he have them sing?
The Lion King was my little sister's favorite movie. She actually wore exclusively a Nala costume almost every single day to school for like a year straight.
Yes, I'm specifically talking about 90s Disney animation, Raya. I'm not including either Pixar or Guardians of the Galaxy in the live shows.
Disney parks missing the fucking point.
I also
but then there are some neat
so now it can be said the reason I never did a full riff of the Finding Nemo musical is because my camera battery died while I was filming it, and I didn't go back to refilm it. So I just
valid.
Did some clips. So if I go down to Florida, I know I could do it with someone else's footage, but I like to use my own footage for riffs whenever possible. So when I make it down to Florida, again, I'll do the stuff I still managed to miss, the stuff that still managed to change, And the stuff
Well,
I
what twist? The
underrepresented,
narrator, the guy who
and
wrote
among the
Dust
stuff
Moving
that I
Justice,
underrepresented
was
will
evil
be
all
a full
along.
riff of Finding
I
Nemo
thought
the
the classic
musical.
battle was between evil and the narrator, but no. Look, you can tell they were
That was a
using
slightly
controlled
deep cut,
fire.
that
Why is
MS2K
Simba
Santa
so
Claus
okay
reference
with
I put
this
in there.
happening?
This show has, like, the fire juggling is very impressive.
Why are you people applauding? The narrator just sang about overthrowing the king.
And this
Why
is the
people
thing I
wanna
do in
know
riffs where I
this?
just nitpick
Is that
the
really
in-universe
part of the
logic,
And
which,
I
you know,
understand
theme
respect
park
for
shows
tradition,
aren't
but Simba really
supposed to
wanted
have in the first
cover of
place.
Killing his dad to be part of the festival. Do Civil War reenactments take some time for a John Wilkes Booth tap dance?
I think
Man,
the
why
Dolly
is it there?
Stampede one had one for a while before they changed
Oh,
it.
but now it's time for an avian Kama Sutra.
I'll be nice to it. I mean, I'll be snarky, but I won't be, like, mean.
Dave does not have a mean bone in his body. Though, I'm a fucking bitch, so it works out.
Back to back.
And straight up using Al TV clips.
Well, as long as you're happy with it.
It's Purdy.
And the Mary Poppins reference. When I can't think of jokes, I just use references. But only when I feel like they really work. Jessica Sampson.
Go teams! Play the Jerry Lewis.
That was kind of a stretch when I like acted like he was all like, what? But it was the best I could think of.
Oh, good. Evil narrator went back to his alternate dimension, and we have hippie narrator back.
And now, everybody, it's time for you to join in the fun as we kick off our celebration finale. The natives are getting restless.
What, singing Nazi hyena songs wasn't restless enough? I'm sorry, I can't
I'm
get
like,
past that.
he's
Almost
trying to
every
do
song
a
is
Matthew
very
Broderick
cute.
impersonation,
Simba's
right?
douchebag
Like
dude
the
is
hippie narrator.
villain.
He's not
No.
doing a good one.
Context of the story and how
Well,
to-
it's the
Now it's time for a cover of the song that puts the royal in royalty disputes.
okay, Royal and Royalty Disputes is probably the deepest cut I have in there, which was a reference to the fact that there are royalty disputes in the regarding the copyright of The Lion Sleeps Tonight, like regarding the authorship. And
battle royale for their own amusement.
I just acted like that was a thing everyone knew when I didn't even know it until I read Wikipedia. I haven't looked it up. I don't know if it's actually
And that's the finale, right?
I don't know if it's actually Nathan Lane as Timon.
It sounds a lot like him.
Well, Nathan Lane sometimes does it, but sometimes it's I'm forgetting the name of the guy who takes over for Nathan Lane
Not
when
Ernie
he's not
Sabella, is
available.
it?
No, he's Pumbaa.
Oh yeah.
Hey, careful where you swing that bird. You'll chop somebody's head off.
Yes, Cam Clark is off-brand Broderick. Well, I mean, half the new management is already in The Lion King, so...
Mm-hmm.
Well, except for the living things who are still single.
Yeah, I forget the name of Nathan Lane's sound-alike, but I think at a certain point, like, he even took over for Spot on Teacher's Pet.
Mm.
But, yeah, I think for this show, it might have still been Nathan Lane. This was back when he was still doing more of the Timon songs. There's my bad Jeremy Irons.
Something's on fire.
It's not our problem.
Yeah. Mariah, how's Rachel doing? I haven't talked to her in a minute. Hi, Charlie.
Charlie! Usually you're the one doing live streams.
Charlie Tiberius Callahan has returned.
And this Community clip, which was the current season of Community at the time I was editing this, hence having to use the clip with the City TV watermark.
The stage, leaving the king just sitting there. Man, Pride Rock Secret Service.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Yeah, I've been seeing some of the pictures on Instagram between that and the embroidery. It's been looking fun.
Logical scrutiny, but even then it makes more sense than some of the shows that actually try to follow lots of movies they're based on.
Don't worry, I'll take our other appendix next time.
But when it lacks in cohesiveness, it more than makes up for in spectacle. The dancers, the acrobats, the colors, the lights, in person, it's all quite breathtaking. And my initial opinion of Animal Kingdom as a whole would have been a lot higher had I seen
It's true. I think Festival of the Lion King, at least having not seen Avatar yet, Festival of the Lion King is top 2 Animal Kingdom attractions.
Ask me questions. I'm bored.
Okay. The next request up was doing the fake commercials. So let me go.
Which one do you want to do?
Get
Is
that.
it the Frappuccino Roof?
Let me do all 3 of them.
All
Let me get the playlist.
Oh, that was fun.
We'll have things to say.
I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. I got soul, but I'm not
Actually,
a soldier.
What am I doing?
I don't know.
The playlist is one of the first.
Dave does Disney like you see. Na, 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 na. Bite-sized nuggets of comic. Ooh, do. There we go. Yeah, bitch. That Frappuccino commercial. Oh, man.
Excuse me again.
You're excused.
My throat is bad, and that is bad live stream content.
You're good.
That is not your place to say. That is the audience's place to say.
For breakfast.
Oh,
Hey, that's me.
hold on. We gotta actually get it queued up.
Into prime buffer position. I mean, doing all right. We're, had a long conversation with your wife yesterday, which was fun. But yeah, just like we're surviving. We're feeling confident that someday we'll be able to leave the house again.
Except for me, who has to leave the house every day to drive for Grubhub. I long to not have to leave the house.
And I long to not sneeze. I know, baby. We'll figure it out. The thing I want to do at Florida is actually not any of the theme parks.
Of course.
I want to go to the Ringling Museum. There's a whole museum dedicated to circus art that looks really cool down in Orlando. There's also the Perez Museum in Miami. I also want to go surfing and eat a lot of Cuban food. I don't know. What's kind of unique that you said that you wanted to go check out in the parks?
Well, there's a lot of things. Obviously, everything that's opened since I was last there is what I want to check out.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't seen Diagon Alley at all. Haven't seen Pandora at all. Haven't seen...
Oh, you know what I want to see? I have a friend that works at Universal. Her name is Rachel Spears. She's wonderful. She's the marvelous Miss Rachel on Instagram. Highly recommend her taking a look up. She does the Jimmy Fallon ride, and I'm just weirdly intrigued to check that out because she's constantly putting selfies with her and hashtag the panda.
Yeah.
And I just am like, I want to support my girl. So
I'm curious about the Fallon ride, even though I did watch a ride through of it, and it looks like it's basically the Simpsons ride, but with the Tonight Show, which is not a fit that makes sense to me. But I'm honestly more interested in the pre-show than the ride itself.
Yeah, I want to see the panda. I want to hang out with hashtag, and I want to, make fun of Rachel in her Paige costume. Well, not make fun of Rachel in her Paige costume. I want to homage her in her Paige costume. Oh, very cool. Very cool. If your friend knows Rachel Spears, she's rad. Highly recommend. I think Mariah said the ride's not great. Yeah, that's just as expected.
Yeah.
I do want to see Gringotts. I do want to check out Hagrid, Mickey and Minnie's
Runaway Railway,
looks so fun.
And Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Yeah.
I want to check out.
I'm trying to remember. So,
Hey, Jared.
In the story I told on the podcast about me getting arrested at Disneyland, I did not get a chance to do Space Mountain when I was in Florida, so I would like to actually do Space Mountain.
But it's better here.
I mean, I've been told. It's true. But I would like to have a comparison point.
You've done it here.
I know, babe. But I want to do both just to be able to, like, you know, definitive.
Oh, yeah, Skull Island is another one I want to check out because from what I've seen of that, it actually improves on Kong 360 here. I don't know if the same can be said for their version of Supercharge.
I want to do Test Track again. I really liked it.
I haven't done Test Track since they've revamped it.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we have a request for more commentating. So
we'll commentate away.
Let us commentate on a thing that your voice is in.
Yeah.
You love coming to McDonald's for breakfast because there's one near your house and it's cheap and convenient. Oh, our food is bland and
so I basically collected all this footage over a year or so, which is why there's footage of a Shamrock Shake coming up, even though this was released not in March.
Yeah.
Coffee to any other fast food coffee. You're just here already, so it's convenient. And did we mention cheap?
I like my voice in this. I just hate my delivery in this.
I think you did a good job. I think you did a good job.
Now you don't even have to set foot in McDonald's to settle for McDonald's coffee. No, we're not bottling the drink.
There's the Shamrock Shake.
Just the drink that you get from us. Because
I do like the Chicken McGriddle. It is
and now it's
like, as far as bland McDonald's food goes, it's like, this actually works.
I am my go-to is always the hash browns. Like, I prefer the hash browns over the French fries any day of the week at McDonald's. And
so this is actually the second time I filmed this part, because the first time I filmed it outside of Target, I was like, it doesn't play as chaotic as I wanted to, so I went to the Walmart near my house, and
that place is chaotic evil.
Yeah. and got one, and I really exaggerated the difficulty, but I'm not
you're not sure, speaking of not.
Yeah. but I'm
truly the most convenient way.
I'm not wrong about the fact that it's more inconvenient than it should be to open one of these bottles, considering it's all about considering in theory it's only there for convenience.
So also I will say a personal thing. My narration, all of these, I was trying to impersonate a good friend of mine, and I think I was sort of good at doing it. She actually like watched both of them, and she was giving me pointers on how to do her voice better. But it was just kind of funny that like I do kind of sound a little like
this is the one you're not in.
Yeah.
It's me.
This is just me doing the impression of the Jack in the Box guy.
And at my Jack in the Box, you can shove all manners of things into your mouth. While other fast food places
That's what she said.
Burgers, we have a quarter decent burger for 3/5 of the price.
I like Jack in the Box better than Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr. tastes like diarrhea.
I like it better than Carl's Jr. I like it.
Try to stop us. Or why not try our tacos, which we can call tacos. Which allows us to appropriate the
I hate that I like Jack in the Box. That's what it comes down to. Like, Jack in the Box is, I look at the food and I'm like, this is disgusting. But then sometimes it's really what hits the spot, and I am not proud of that.
Oh, sometimes I just wake up and I'd be like, how do I want to hurt my body today?
Yeah.
Jack in the Box. Or our new chaotic evil. Yeah, I know, right? So Dave and I learned that if you take an In-N-Out burger and then put a Popeye's chicken sandwich in the In-N-Out burger,
put the chicken sandwich patty in there.
It is the most chaotic evil of deliciousness I've ever had in my entire life.
But obviously you do it when you're doing that, you get the Popeye's fries because In-N-Out fries are garbage.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, though, is Jack in the Box has curly fries, and they can't fuck that up.
No, exactly.
And really, very few fast food places fuck up a fried chicken sandwich.
No, exactly.
Some of them are much better than others, but there are very few that are bad. Also, the Jack in the Box mascot head that's superimposed over me, that is a screenshot from the Wi-Fi login screen for Jack in the Box.
It is really good, honestly. Trying to think. So I have a very controversial hot take. And this is only because I experienced both for the first time when I was living in the South. I prefer Zaxby's over Chick-fil-A. Like, I mean, Chick-fil-A I think is, chaotic for multiple bad reasons, but like I don't think they season their chicken very well. And Zaxby's, which I had in Kentucky for the first time, beyond the fact that it is the best fucking chicken that has an X in the name, it's like flavorful and seasoning and delicious, and I just want to eat it all the time, and I miss it, and I kind of hope that they actually grow. Zaxby's is the best. I'm glad, Charlie, that we agree on this thing. Zaxby's is perfect, and I don't know who you are, D. Gill, but I agree.
All right, and then finally, the most cathartic video I've ever made.
I'm glad you agree on that too, Casey. Yeah, it's like...
or maybe tied for most cathartic video with the other Starbucks video, but...
Yeah. No, absolutely. Just not seasoned well. Yes.
I genuinely like Taco Bell. I know that's a hot take, but I genuinely like Taco Bell. I mean, it's not real Mexican food, but even a fake taco is a taco. So this is not the Starbucks I worked at, but it is the Starbucks down the road from the Starbucks I worked at.
Sure, you can get an iced latte from Starbucks, and your barista would have it ready.
And this screenshot is at the downtown Disney Starbucks.
A little extra to get a frappuccino, which would take a whopping 9 to 11 seconds.
And obviously, I was collecting this footage while I still worked at Starbucks.
You were talking about the concept of the video when we first met.
I've been planning it for so long, and yeah, I would sneak footage on my phone while I was working, which might not strictly be legal. But and that Satan there is from Six Flags Fright Fest.
Also, straight up, that Satan himself line was the hardest one for me, I think, to get out when doing that whole thing. Like,
I kind of had to coach you, like phonetically.
Yeah, I just it was not coming out, no matter how hard I tried.
Just with fake ice cream. So it's a bad milkshake.
But the end result is so good. Your voice is so good in this.
Well, thanks, baby.
A barista's day worse. You're ripping yourself off because frappuccinos are the absolute worst dollar value on the entire menu.
Yeah, Dave got me on the Taco Bell train again after like being off it for several years because he was like promoting the weird stuff, and the weird stuff is very good.
The weird stuff at Taco Bell is good. I think Del Taco's meat is slightly better than Taco Bell's meat. I mean, they're both mediocre fast food American tacos, but Taco Bell's menu in general is more interesting than Del Taco's menu.
Yeah. Frappuccino only has 3 half pumps. Hell, a tall iced mocha has more.
This also.
Mocha frappuccino.
Last summer, I had a Twitter thread go a little viral where I was ranting about frappuccinos, and a lot of what I was putting in that thread was stuff that I had already written into the script for this video, even though this video wouldn't come out for quite a while.
I love that Mara kept on texting me, being like, so many people are yelling at Dave about being privileged, and I keep on yelling the end at them and then hitting the delete button.
Yes, the pervasiveness of that thread was in part due to some very high-profile retweets, some of them from friends of ours like Dom and Mara, and some of them from acquaintances of mine who don't follow me like Dan Olson.
Still have to make the full grande, and whatever doesn't fit in the cup just gets dumped down the drain. It doesn't save the company money. It's just wasteful for waste's sake. Because Howard Schultz hates people. Even
I gotta say, I like the Del Taco fries because I mean I do love a good crinkle cut.
If you wanted Howard Schultz to like you,
I'm kind of
money instead.
I like when Taco Bell has fries, I like their fries better than Del Taco's fries, but Taco Bell doesn't always have fries.
Yeah. So I think one of the best ways we had the Del Taco fries is we have this ketchup we like called Smoky Duck ketchup, which is a smoked ketchup that makes the fries taste fucking phenomenal. Oh my god.
Who cares?
Who cares? Just who cares?
Benefit, they exist solely and exclusively for barista torture. And yeah, I get it.
Also, like I said the word barista, I felt like so much that it just lost all meaning to me.
Those cream-based ones, which don't have caffeine.
Honestly, like the off-the-shelf frappuccinos, like the glass bottle frappuccinos in in
best
grocery
way
stores
of
and
getting a
convenience
frappuccino
stores,
so you can get some
they're
coffee
better
without tasting
because
any
they're
coffee.
not mostly
Choose the flavors
gunk.
that are bad for you in order to help you stomach the taste of coffee, which is also bad
I
for
don't
you.
want to blow up her spot, but
Frappuccino.
another friend of ours
Damage your body
currently
to allow you
works
to
at
savor
a
the sensation of
Starbucks,
damaging
and
your body. But because Starbucks never
she
passes
has
up a good
been
opportunity for some torture, the adhesive gunk in the
teasing
coffee
her
makes
coworkers with
frappuccinos
this
so
video.
convenient to add just a
Nice,
hint of
nice.
coffee aftertaste to your drinks that already have a little bit of coffee in them, just so you can more fully notice how hard we're trying to make this not taste like coffee. That's just one example of the f***ed up mind games you can
See, but
make
Jack in the Box is
from a
designed to be
frappuccino.
stoner heaven, is the
Mhm.
thing.
Caffeine? Do you want something that's
Well,
still
lemonade is fine at
nutritious
Starbucks because
with
it's
Mhm.
it's just.
well,
Namely,
there's
the
no
mango
good
dragon
fat
fruit
factors.
lemonade with a
So
little
to
bit of green
maintain the
tea in
coffee
it.
content
I will
without
say
too
a case
downplaying
could be
the
made
flavors
that the
inside,
refreshers
lukewarm
and
coffee
teas are more
frappuccinos
annoying
use
than
decaf
frappuccinos
espresso,
because no
which
part of the
means you'll
process
not only
is
have to go through the
automatic.
frappuccino making process in
But
a blender, you also have
even
to
though
go through the
there's
espresso
no
machine,
automatic
carrying
steps
out
in the
process of
process,
making
I
your
just
drink
found the
as
process in
honestly
general
possible,
much more
while also
manageable.
delaying the orders of everyone who just ordered a latte and throwing things off for both the hot bar barista and the cold bar barista. Also, you can get a drink that tastes
I
just
went
enough like
into
coffee to remind you
more
that it's trying not to taste
specifics
like coffee,
in the
while
D
offering none of
list
the special value of coffee,
where I
all
went
while your
over my
baristas
pet
silently
peeves.
wonder why you didn't just go to the Cold Stone that is probably in the same plaza.
Mhm.
Yet,
Okay, so
this
that
is
was the
way
Starbucks I
too
worked at,
frustrating
the
to
one in the
see
same
your
parking lot
bending
as the
over
Cold
backwards
Stone.
to reduce value. A frappuccino is the best way to stand up proudly and say, I hate coffee. I really hate baristas, and I kind of hate
I feel
myself.
like my
And
feelings
sure,
toward
maybe
you
some
could be
people who
heard
make
during
money
that
in video
specific
games
thing
could
because
be one of those
Because you were
baristas
getting
that
frustrated.
I was getting
This is
so
true.
frustrated
If
with
his
you.
work ever dries up, he's going to regret not being able to be hired back
I
by
was
that
trying
corporate
to
hellhole. But on
be
the other
a
hand, maybe he
good
wouldn't dare step
director,
foot
but
behind that counter again,
I was
even with a
also
200% raise and a bonus to pay off all his debt.
I was
Because
I was
making these fucking
trying.
milkshakes
I
will just
knew,
bring
I know
so
you were,
happy
baby. I know you were. It's
all
just
the health
like
benefits in the
I
world
think we
are
both
the
were just
star,
really
especially if you
tired
use
towards
one
the end of that because like that one I think took like 4 days for us to record because
Yeah,
there's just so many words.
we also were like I was kind of rushing to get these out, and they already got a lot more delayed than I was expecting.
You greedy corporate
Um,
douchebags. He hopes the entire damn company goes out of business.
Taco
and
Bell
everything
breakfast
Starbucks can do
I
is burn to the fucking ground.
really
And
like
then
the
insults that nothing more
breakfast
can
crunch
buy.
wrap at Taco
Hey,
Bell.
are
I
you sure
think
you want me to
is
say all
great.
this?
It's the only way to make the nightmare stop.
I wanted to be wearing my Starbucks hat in that shot
A
too, but I
little
couldn't
slice of
find
hell,
it.
Yeah.
Frozen over.
All right, that is those sketches.
A little bit of hell for Eisenhower.
I mean, some people are just better suited to working at Starbucks. Is the thing. Starbucks is just a better fit for some people than it is for others.
Yeah.
I think you have to be an extrovert to really enjoy working at Starbucks, and you have to be a specific kind of extrovert.
Yeah, because I'm a super extrovert, and I tried working at Starbucks like right after I graduated from college, and I was so happy when I got hired by Troma like 4 days later. Even though I did not get paid really for working at Troma, I was like the best. Like, bye.
Nobody gets paid at Troma.
Yeah, no one gets paid at Troma, not even Lloyd. I think Michael's the only person that gets paid at Troma because I feel like he's got some weird backroom shenanigans going on.
Your time working at Troma might be a good topic for a podcast episode.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Especially because of how I got fired too, which was kind of wild.
Yeah. I didn't mind hot bar at Starbucks. Hot bar was manageable. But cold bar, obviously, I hated. Register, it depended on the customers. Drive-through was what started to drive me insane. So I eventually transferred to a non-drive-through store, and that kept me going for another 2 years before I finally quit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, as in the Troma.
Yeah, I did. It was one of my first jobs after college. And I got fired because I got hit by a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell the whole story on the podcast one of these days. Yeah.
So the next request was for an Armchair Imagineering, but I don't think anybody requested any specific Armchair Imagineering. So which one do people want to see now?
Yeah, it was wild.
Or we can just talk about this.
All right, okay. So I was on my way to work one day and it was early in the morning, and yeah. So it was early in the morning. I was like, I got hit, but yeah. So I was on my way to work, and Lloyd and Michael had a very like notorious attendance policy there. So I was on my way to work, and I got hit by a cab driver, and it really screwed up like my leg still to this day. Like I have some issues walking because of it. But I obviously was like late to work, to say the least. I didn't go because I was like having to, I got sent to the emergency room to get looked at to make sure that I wasn't, dead. It's an interesting experience to be in the middle of the street and just having an EMT cut your pants off of you. So make sure that you did not break your leg worse than you had. So I basically am in the ambulance ride. I call my parents, I call I just don't think to call work because I'm like, what this is thing. So I get a call from Annie. She was like my supervisor type of person thing. And she was like, hey, Lloyd and Michael wondering what happened to you. And I was like, well, I got hit by a car. And I hear like Michael, who's like Lloyd's business partner at Troy, be like, that's a likely story. I'm like, no, I got hit by a car. I have a leg traction right now. He's like, no, you didn't. You would have called if you gotten hit by a car. It's like, I'm in the process of trying to get out of the emergency room right now, Michael. What do you think? And he's like, look, I'm sorry, but if you're going to lie about something stupid like this, we're just going to have to fire you. So he fired me on the spot on there. And because I was getting paid under the table there, I couldn't really file a suit or anything like that. So it was like, well, there you go. So I was unemployed after that for a while, and it was wild. And that's how I ended up kind of starting working as a PA for like Top Chef and stuff like that, because a friend of mine hooked me up with some gigs to help with money and stuff. Oh, thank you, Brandon. Yeah, it really was stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's not that surprising that that's what the culture's like at Trauma.
Well, this is the thing. Lloyd is really nice. I like Lloyd. I will never say a bad thing about Lloyd. Michael is the fucking pit bull. He does all of Lloyd's dirty work because Lloyd doesn't want to have his hands dirty at all. So Michael does all the shitty shit. And yeah, he really just kind of fired me in a really creepy way. Well, not creepy, just really angry, annoying way.
In a sketchy way, let's say. Not creepy, but sketchy.
And it's one of those things because like I got paid to the table. I never had like an I-9 or something like that. So I really had no protections at all, which is why kids don't work for Trauma. Trauma is a bad, bad place. I did steal a lot of DVDs though, because they encourage that.
Trauma is like I dig Lloyd's books, like the Make Your Own Damn Movie books. I find them inspirational for no budget inspiration. But even in there, I can see, okay, these people would be terrible to work for because so many of the tips are about how to stretch your dollar, and that involves not paying people. Or not paying people what they're worth anyway. Okay, so we have 2 requests for the Nintendo Armchair Imagineering. So let me pull that up. And
so it's just a funny side story is that Dave and I, when we've been walking, we have occasionally been listening to the Mario map screen music as we walk. So it's been like
just to make it feel like we're on a quest.
Yeah, it's been fun. And I really like you. I think you said that you hope that they do
that they have that music. I think I bring that up here.
I'm David Gansel, and welcome.
So More Guests is from Dumbledore in his office in Forbidden Journey. Every Armchair Imagineering starts with an opening line from a theme park attraction or theme park pre-show. And I think I'm going to run out of theme park greetings before I run out of Armchair Imagineering ideas.
In fact, I once spent several hours discussing this dream with my good friend John Stutzman. Incidentally, the aforementioned John Stutzman is... Yes,
buy John's books. They are adorable.
Wonderful.
We actually bought Llama Destroys the World at Target.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Haley, what's up?
Haley!
A park that's probably way too ambitious for Universal to actually build.
Oh, there's the buffering. I was wondering where you went.
Bum, 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 bum.
By the way,
buffering.
So yesterday I filmed 3 Armchair Imagineering videos, and one of them is the follow-up to this one.
Yeah.
That is probably not the first one that will be released.
For now, the lands we had in mind based on Nintendo properties were based on Mario, Zelda, Star Fox, and Pokemon. Now, I don't know anything about Pokemon, and this conversation was long before Pokemon Go redefined how to have an immersive Pokemon experience, so the only Pokemon idea I had at the time was the Pokemon Safari.
That sucks,
ride,
Ryan.
where you could look
I'm
at
sorry,
what
Ryan. That's
Pokemon
awful.
I think we've all had awful bosses.
Yeah.
With animatronic Pokemon. That is the most times I have ever said the word Pokemon. A land I had a better vision for was
So the sweater that Dave wears in all of his videos is actually mine.
Yes, the Armchair Imagineering cardigan is a sweater of Allie's.
Yeah, it was. I bought it because I was trying to think about doing a sort of a Professor Trelawney sort of Halloween costume, but just never got around to doing it. So it then just became Dave's like, this is my cool dad sweater.
I'm going for like a Masterpiece Theater sort of like, oh hi, didn't see you come in sort of thing.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of assume that for the entire maze used.
Would you like a cup of hot Jones?
Hot Jones, hot Jones, hot Jones. We do love a communal sweater here.
Communal sweaters are where it's at.
Well, Dave's shirt's also mine too. He's wearing.
That's true. Right now, I'm wearing a shirt I got from Allie, the Del Close for President shirt.
Yeah.
Was our idea for a Star Fox ride. This would be a physical, real-life recreation of level.
So yeah, this video was before Smuggler's Run came out, and that kind of ended up being the Star Fox ride I pitched.
It is very comfy. I got it at Torrid for like mad discounted.
Joystick a la the Dumbo ride. Said joystick would also have a trigger button on it, so you could shoot at the enemy ships, which would somehow explode.
So I
somehow
pulled up an N64 emulator to play these games and screen capture them on my computer. While I was getting footage for Zelda, I at one point, like, I had to play far enough to actually get to the village, and I was playing, and at one point I like fucked up in the Deku tree and got stuck and had to start the game over, and I was like, this is tedious for a video. Like, I could have just stolen the footage from somebody else's playthrough, but I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, true that, Faye, true that. I'm sorry I didn't get a better bench support, babe.
That's fine.
Painted to look like Mario pipes.
The Smucker's website has boysenberry products for cheaper than Amazon.
I mean, that's worth checking out. And also, Amazon's delaying shipping for a month on products, so
since Smucker's owns the Knott's Berry brand for preserves.
There'd be 2 Mario Kart attractions, and
I think you'd use Cola when you do your glass, right?
Yeah, I just put Coke in the wine glass because I'm not a drinker.
Just a standard go-kart track decorated to look like classic Mario Kart tracks. And our second Mario Kart idea was
I believe you, Jared. I haven't played Animal Crossing.
Basically rock and roller.
I would like to, but I cannot find a Switch anywhere.
If the rumors I've heard about Universal's Mario Kart attraction are true, yeah, it's going to do better justice to the game than ours would. But I still think Rainbow Road would be a really cool aesthetic for a roller coaster. But the main
Yeah, Rainbow Road roller coaster is like the first idea I've ever had for what a Nintendo Land would have.
A little more spaced out than your typical Omnimover. Not as spaced out.
Oh, buffering. You make me so happy. That's a lie.
And much like the Little Mermaid,
I only ever film Armchair Imagineering videos when my beard is long. That didn't used to be on purpose, but now that it's a trend, I have to wait until my beard grows out to film them.
Yeah.
So after filming 3 episodes yesterday, I shaved.
You look good.
Goombas and piranha plants and so forth that you could shoot at for points. Then after the vehicle made its way to the back of the building, it would come to a long hallway where it turns and faces a screen. And much like the last bit of Toy Story Mania.
And yes, I shoot these in my family's living room.
But in this case, the screen is depicting a classic-style Mario side-scrolling level. And Mario and Luigi are running along and jumping, and you're shooting at Koopas and question blocks for bonuses. And
yeah, this footage is just the ad for Mario Run.
Until your vehicle turns to the final room room where there's a giant animatronic Bowser on a bridge.
Splatoon might be a good substitute. I haven't played Splatoon either.
Chance to shoot at the lever,
Shaved
collapse the
Gansel.
bridge, and making
Yes.
Bowser
Indeed, he is.
I put the Shave in
If
Dave.
you're wondering how the
Shave does his name.
reset before the next vehicle
Shave Shuz Shizhny.
showed up. So those were our pie in the sky.
Also, the shoes I wear in Armchair Imagineering, the Topsiders, are shoes we got at, what's the name of the store?
Second time around.
It's a store in Burbank that sells clothing that was used for wardrobe in movies and TV shows.
Yeah, I believe your shoes were on one of the Transformers movies.
It was something like that. It was something like, and I'm sure it was just some extra wore them.
Yeah.
Okay, we got time for another video or two. If anyone, also, if anyone has like specific questions about the videos we're revisiting, we can answer them. What JPEG will cut post-virus? It's I guarantee it's mostly going to be entertainment and anything that involves dealing with the union. It's going to be things are going to get scaled. Things are going to get scaled back. And there's probably going to be a lot of days where they're only using two turntables for Smuggler's Run instead of all four.
Mm-hmm.
Mango Joe's rant. Yeah, let's bring that up.
Because he's a tour guide on the Jungle Cruise ride. Skipper Dave is his name.
Mango Joe's rant, which is kind of an unofficial precursor to the Starbucks videos.
Yep. Mango Joe.
In a lot of ways.
Testing out the stream? It's a test. It's a test.
You don't need to read everything out loud, honey, because they can't see this.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I mean, I'm just saying they'll be confused by the words that you're saying.
Well, I frequently am confusing because of words.
We're all confusing because of words. When did I put the Mango Joe's rant up? Hold on. Is it earlier than I remembered? Is it farther away ago? If I just type it into the search bar, then I can actually find it instead of scrolling. The Mango Joe's rant. It has 616 views. That's the number of the beast in some translations.
Which of the Incredible John's pizzas have we witnessed?
We haven't been to any of them personally, but we've seen the one. There's the one in the mall, the basement of the Buena Park Mall, and there's the one in Montclair near the mall, but not in the mall. Mango Joe's rant. Epcot already cut every country's entertainment. Wow.
Wild.
That's not surprising. Yeah, so
The retirement plan, valid.
Yeah. So by the time the Blitztravaganza was ready, a lot of the Mango Joe's information was out of date because, like, by the time it went up, Mango Joe's actually did serve burgers. Okay, so what I'm just going to tell you all now, because we're so deep in a live stream, that everyone who's made it this far has earned this surprise information. Excuse me.
Hey, baby.
So the three Armchair Imagineerings I shot yesterday, one of them was the non-Nintendo video game ride ideas we have. One is called Phineas and Ferb can fit in literally any Disney park. And one of them is called Let's Get Some Rides in World Showcase Already. And that's probably going to be the one I release first. So I pitch in that one, I pitch both a B or C ticket and an E ticket for every World Showcase Pavilion that does not yet have a ride or an upcoming ride or a big animatronics show.
Oh no. Sabrina's dad might have COVID.
Oh no. A friend of ours' dad. That's hopefully that works out.
Yeah.
That brought the mood down.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I just saw that.
No, it's this whole thing is meant to distract us from the shittiness in the world, and that's what we do here. In general, we distract from the shittiness in the world.
Yeah.
What was I just talking about?
Everyone should have a Dave in their life. Dave is great. Dave is wonderful. Dave will make you avocado toast and bring it to you in bed. That is why everyone should have a Dave in their life.
Unfortunately, there are only a few of me.
There's at least one other living in this house, but like, yeah.
So yeah, those are the Armchair Imagineerings that are coming up, and
Dave is indeed love, and Dave is indeed life. He makes a really good avocado toast. This one, actually.
I mean, it starts with having toast and having avocado. It's not that impressive.
You do the spicy honey on it too, and everything else. Like it's really
only
nice.
good because we have good ingredients in the house. Yeah, the Kodak being the reason there's no Japan ride. That's one of the dumber things in theme park history.
Yeah, find the Dave clones. They've been scattered like Horcruxes throughout the world.
These are the Daves I know. These are the Daves I know. Tabasco and lemon. We had it with Tabasco a few days ago.
Yeah. So the version that Dave does that we've collaborated together. I've been making no knead bread pretty frequently because what else are you supposed to do right now?
You actually made the bread. You did the hard part of making the toast.
I have an amazing bread recipe. It takes like 24 hours to rise, but like it's beautiful when it's done. It's basically like it's avocados and then it's everything but the bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's. And then it's a chili pepper infused honey called spicy. It's Mike's Hot Honey?
Mike's Hot Honey.
Mike's Hot Honey, which has like it's spicy, but it's not super spicy, so it adds a nice little like sweet kick to it. And then sometimes a little bit of pepper and salt on top.
I used to always go for the spiciest item on the menu, and that's probably why my reflux is so bad these days.
Yeah.
So I have to pace myself these days.
Yeah, but and a little tiny bit of lemon on top too if we have it. Sometimes if we have burrata cheese, we'll also crack it on top like it's a fake egg, and it's very, very delicious. And but yeah, it's like if you can find Mike's Hot Honey, it's around at like nicer grocery stores. Trader Joe's, everything but the bagel seasoning always is a trick.
Here's what I love about my generation is that once we started getting critiqued for having avocado toast all the time instead of saving our money, that was the first most of us had ever heard of the idea of avocado toast.
Absolutely.
And we were like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but it sounds incredible.
Let's try this. But yeah, no, burrata is the best. I got introduced it to you recently, and you seem to be really into it.
Yeah, I mean, I've had it before, but...
Oh, okay.
But yeah, burrata as a go-to on a toast is very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is time for our next request, which is...
Why'd you have to be so rude?
Hold on. No, YouTube, Chrome is doing the dumb thing again.
Oh, damn it.
Hold on a second.
Because he's a cool guy on the jungle.
I gotta set this all up again.
Okay.
Is this... It's doing the thing where it reloads tabs that it's not in, which is a dumb thing.
Oh, that's annoying.
Hold on, I gotta...
Do it. Kimchi on a hot dog is fantastic.
I gotta reset the share screen.
Okay. Well, then that's valid about like the texture thing with avocados. Like sometimes like it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I find, I mean, I only got into avocados through guacamole, which have a different texture. I can't eat steak because I find it unchewable.
This is one of the few things we differ on food wise, which is I like steak, I can handle it, but
It's not that I don't like the flavor, it's just that it is rubber.
Yeah, I know it's like it's because of stuff.
Okay. So let's get the Mango Joe's rant going.
I guess that name was just so well marketed that the stadium constantly fills with people. People who then leave the auditorium hungry, and with nothing else in sight, they descend on Mango Joe's. They pile out of the stadium, pouring down the hill like the orcs attacking Helm's Deep, and the poor cafe's defenses are no.
That really was the image I had in mind every time I saw them coming down the hill.
And then out of chicken, and then out of cherry cheesecake. They need to restock the Diet Coke. They need to open a second register. They have to explain to a non-English speaking family
Clip from the
that
Muppets.
this is the fajita sandwich that the menu refers to. Fajita just refers to the filling. It's more like a cheesesteak. Look, I'm sorry. I know it's the bread.
Most of the stills in this were just from Google image searches, and I really should have kept track of where they were from to credit them. I wasn't doing that in those days, and that was wrong with me.
Condiments. And of course you can't have a beer unless we ID you. No, your Disney gift card won't work here. And you have the all-day dining wristband, so this isn't your first meal today.
The fajita sandwich was all right. I can do like a cheesesteak kind of steak because that's, you know, more tender, more chewable.
Here. I don't know what you want from me. Yeah.
Oh, SeaWorld over Starbucks, definitely, because SeaWorld, I at least had the novelty of working at a theme park. And
we do not have burgers, pizza, ice cream, or
there were things, like, I didn't hate working at Mango Joe's, it just had its annoyances. Starbucks I liked for the first year, and then starting in year 2, I just hated it with every fiber of my being.
But our spoons, well, you can use them for whatever purpose your heart desires, or at least more than one purpose.
Yeah, that seems to be the go-to problem for every non-Disney park. SeaWorld isn't paying their employees off time.
Well, we'll hopefully learn next week if Casper's actually paying me or not, so that's going to be fun.
What's your favorite purpose for a multi-purpose spoon?
I don't think I can say it on the live stream.
Quiet you.
I'm sorry about that.
I'm sorry. SeaWorld, I have mixed feelings about as a whole, as an organization. Okay, so from the people I know who are more in the know than I am, Blackfish was mostly full of shit. But I don't know that firsthand for myself. But by all accounts, there was still some less than ideal circumstances going on with some of the animals. But at the same time, SeaWorld does a lot of really important animal rescue stuff. And Diego,
that's an easy way to die.
SeaWorld... Okay, my favorite little girl in costume I've seen at Disneyland was like it was shortly after they debuted the version of Thor in the comics, the female Thor. I don't read comics, I just heard about it from douchebags making it a controversy. And like shortly after that, I saw a little girl dressed as Thor, and I was like, see, that's why they did it.
Well, it's kind of like anytime I hear somebody even start to complain again about the fucking Ghostbusters thing, I think about that picture of like the two little girls that were hanging out with Kristen Wiig at the premiere, and it's like, yes.
Also, say what you will about the 2016 Ghostbusters, but at least it wasn't Reaganite propaganda.
Yep. I
say that as someone who loves the original Ghostbusters. It is a super right-wing movie.
Yeah, I saw Ghostbusters way after I think I out of the demographic. 'Cause I think some films you have to watch at a certain age for it to like be meaningful. I saw Ghostbusters when I was like 27, not like 13, which I think probably would have been like the best time for it. And that was the one thing that bugged me was like the Reagan-y right-wing bullshit with it. It was like, especially with the EPA, it was like, ugh.
Yeah, the EPA are the bad guys and the business owners are the heroes.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about how the crossing the streams plot point is handled in such a clunky way in that movie? Ghostbusters was important to me too, guys, but don't treat it like it was a flawless, like perfect movie that can't be improved upon. I love Journey to Atlantis. Journey to Atlantis is my favorite ride at SeaWorld. Again, haven't been back since I worked there, so maybe there are better rides now. Most of the on-camera stuff for the SeaWorld Blitztravaganza videos was shot basically the day after I quit. When my dad flew down to drive back up to Connecticut with me when I had to move home. And so we did one day at SeaWorld where Dad was my cameraman. Do we have any other requests for videos to revisit? Because I'm not tired just yet. Yeah, Ghostbusters is a better premise than story.
Well, it's like
which is kind of the opposite of Jurassic Park, where it's like they have one story they can tell with the Jurassic Park premise, and they just keep telling it over and over.
My feeling with Ghostbusters is the same for a film that I really it's not great, but it's like a fun premise called Death Takes a Holiday. And it's about what if Death decides to personify himself for a couple of days and no one is able to die during the time that he's personifying and gets to experience life as a person. And there's been two versions of this film, at least two versions of this film has been done. Probably the more famous is Meet Joe Black. And it's never been done well, but the premise is such a fun idea. And I kind of feel like with Star Wars, Ghostbusters, War Star Wars.
With Ghost Wars.
With Ghostbusters, I think it's a similar deal where it's like more of an interesting concept. They haven't really found a way to execute correctly.
Okay, we have a couple of requests for 8th Voyage of Sinbad, so...
Yeah, they did do... I gotta say, I'm not the biggest Family Guy, but like the way that they handle the Death Takes a Holiday pastiches in there, I think is maybe the best way to do Death Takes a Holiday.
I haven't rewatched I'm sort of in the conventional wisdom mindset that the first few seasons of Family Guy at least showed potential, but I haven't rewatched them in so long, so I don't know how good they are. Okay, so I'm just waiting for Sinbad to load. This is my least favorite thing this is my least favorite theme park attraction I've reviewed thus far. It is in my top 2 least favorite theme park attractions I've ever experienced. And the other one is X2 at Magic Mountain, because that is a physically painful ride.
Oh yeah, McFarlane's ready to be over shit.
Yeah. So let me just get that queued up, and that is taking a One moment. Moment to buffer.
This is the sound of buffering. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. This is the sound of buffering. I agree.
You haven't even been on it.
But I agree. All roller coasters are prejudiced against boobs.
Yeah, but especially X2 is prejudiced. I mean, X2 hates everybody, but I believe you that it's especially prejudiced against boobs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, see you later. If all goes well, the rest of the stream will be archived, so you can catch up on what you missed. But again, this is my first stream, so I may be fucking this up royally. I did X2 again a few months ago when Chandler was in town. Not the most recent time Chandler was in town, but before that. And it was worse than I remembered.
Mm-hmm.
X2 hurts.
Yeah. You came back from the park that day in so much pain. Like, it was...
I mean, I was also sleep deprived, as I often am.
You are really awesome at being sleepy. Oof.
I'm so awesome at sleep deprivation.
My boobs, Haley, they are hurting in solidarity from just like, oof.
Okay, but Haley, which is worse on the chest, X2 or Tatsu? Because Tatsu, my memory is that it's not that uncomfortable for non-chested people, but I remember you having similar complaints about Tatsu just because of where one's weight is put. Tatsu, which is in the Manta family of coasters that make you fly.
Fly. Hello, boobs.
That wasn't the goal. I just realized we had too much headspace.
That's valid.
Tatsu is the face down one. X2 is the spin you in every direction one.
Face down, ass up. That's the way we like it, bro. What? You not heard that song before?
I'm not saying I haven't. I'm just like, this is a family show.
Whose family?
Somebody's.
You met my family. That's a family show for us. Like,
weird. Okay, so let that load another second or two. Yeah, Magic Mountain in general is full of uncomfortable rides. I will say though, the new ride, West Coast Racers, is fun. You know, I never liked loopy coasters. I never liked upside down coasters when I was young. It was only in adulthood that I started being okay with them. But now I'm just now I have other physical issues with certain types of rides. Just in my 30s. So, but yeah, the new ride at Magic Mountain, West Coast Racers, I found to be a lot of fun. And I really like Twisted Colossus. And yeah, Justice League is uneven, but the things it does well, it does very well. You haven't even been to Magic Mountain, and
I already have strong feelings about it.
Yeah, and you have no intention on going to Magic Mountain.
No. I went to Six Flags in Maryland. I feel like I've done it before.
Hang Time is such an improvement over Boomerang.
I will do Hang Time one of these days. Just need to get the girls down a little bit more.
Excuse me again, and all right. Let us pull up the 8th Voyage of Sinbad.
And then there's a stunt show called The Eighth Voyage of Sinbad, because the Flash of the Titans remake left a tiny, tiny bit of room on Harryhausen's memory for other things to shit on. And at least we get to sit for this show.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new version of Fairy Tales, even though I'm a little skeptical about it. Justice League is...
comes in from the opposite.
I haven't noticed it getting worse than it was before, but the screens were always pretty bad.
Very funny. You know, you're always playing around when there's work to do.
In fact, why the hell?
Somebody in the comments pointed out that Sinbad sounds kind of like Garrett in this video.
He sounds like Kermit.
Dude, that wasn't even as good as Woody.
Oh, it might have been you, Clark.
So Kebab's personality is he's greedy when he forgets to be scared, and he's scared when he forgets to be greedy, and he's dumb, and he makes pop culture references.
So is he trying to be the genie?
I mean, it's basically their answer to the genie, or you know, other similar topical characters in theme park shows.
Look, just die, okay?
I basically stole that line from Riff Tracks talking about Jar Jar.
What? Kebab already knew they had the treasure whether they saved her or not. How is this a motivator for
All right,
him?
see you, Ryan.
So,
I will say, like,
given no reason to care about, passes through
it's
trials
clear that a
given
lot
no
of the
reason to
set
fear
pieces
until
in
they
this
retrieve
are
the
just
magical ruby
the
known
East
as
Coast
the
equivalent
Sultan's
of set pieces from Waterworld. And it's wild that Waterworld has notoriously terrible source material, but it just does so much better with these elements than this one does.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, a Shakespeare reference. Maybe this won't be entirely lowest common denominator.
Lady Gaga?
That's it, I quit. She uses a Bewitched sound effect while the princess wears an I Dream of Genie cosplay. I'm pretty sure that's a conflict of interest.
Well, that's typical. You give a girl a big rock and bam, she turns into a witch.
It's so true.
So
Women
much
are
casual
human creatures
sexism.
who exist solely to frustrate men.
We're trapped. On the sword. Right, come on.
It's just an unpleasant show.
It just sounds unpleasant.
And it was hard to riff because it is like,
Doesn't it seem like Universal makes
you know,
way
not
more
taking
than
itself
just that from a book
seriously.
that's in direct competition with the
So
Force?
I had to find, like, it's hard to riff bad comedy because after a while you're just saying that's not funny over and over. So in this one, I just had to try and point out specific ways it's not funny.
Lagoon originally. But the witch summons her
And also
minion
make
they
references.
fight.
You can always fall back
And
on
the princess
references.
fights the minion too because strong female character. But ultimately, the thug is defeated through the power of comic relief.
Hooray! And now it's dead.
Yeah. I do wonder if they had kept this show, how they would have revised it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's possible. Look at that baby Paul F. Tompkins.
Same thing happened to him that happened to the monster we were
Little
convinced is no
toddler.
longer a
Baby
threat.
mustacheless
Pretty sure that
Paul F.
exact same thing
Tompkins.
wouldn't
He
incapacitate
kinda looks like
someone on
you.
our side. Anyway, the witch summons another minion because it worked so well the first time.
Yeah, I do wonder if they had kept this show, how they would have sort of scaled back the gender dynamics in it. It probably still would have been annoying, but at least that would have been an improvement.
Tour guide on a hell ride? Oh man, Jerk
Tour
already used a
guide.
skipper damn
Make
joke.
it easy.
Another minion. This one's a baton twirler. I guess the princess stopped being tough.
Like, oh no, I'm a princess. I'm a princess.
I still
That guy is just as confused as I
to
am
this
about
day
what
don't
the
know
fuck
what
is
happened
going
in
on.
that little
This is the
sequence.
obligatory part of the show where any inconsistently written comic relief character will start interacting with the audience while the bad guy sneaks up on him. Also, farts. The princess is once again a tough action chick, and Kebab continues to be creepy.
Yeah, she goes back and forth. Oh, what just happened? What just happened?
I don't know.
Chrome screwed up. Oh, Chrome refreshed the tab.
Oh, Chrome.
How could you?
How dare.
Hold on, I gotta skip back to where we were.
Okay.
Yes, I think I mentioned it already, but I am streaming from my Chromebook because my MacBooks are not suited for streaming right now. And the Chromebook has been doing a weird thing in general where sometimes if I'm in a different tab, a tab will automatically refresh. And I did what was supposed to be changing the setting to make that stop happening, but it still keeps happening, and I do not approve.
Mm-hmm.
But I am not an expert in such matters, so yeah, that's it. Comcast shut me down. Which video did Jerk make Skipper damn? He did in Step by Step.
Oh yeah.
When the girls are like fawning over a Jungle Cruise captain.
That's a good one.
He's like, Skipper damn is the name. So it was a completely different context. It was a completely different context, but it was still close enough that I, Skipper damned was okay. Let's get this going again.
Let's get this going again. Get this going again.
Because it worked so well the first time.
Apparently, okay.
Maybe this is the God saying no.
Okay.
This is the God saying no.
Okay. Well, okay, yeah.
Should we just end it on this?
This is no longer going to work. So I think that's it for commentaries, unless I restart the computer. But this is a pretty good time to start wrapping things up anyway. I mean, we can chat for a little while.
Yeah.
We'll just...
Hi, how are you?
Did you all enjoy this? Is this something I should do more frequently?
Yes.
Again, honey, I'm talking to the audience.
Oh, sure.
I am...
I'm also a Patreon supporter. I feel like I have a say in this.
Fair enough. I appreciate you answering, but okay. Those are votes for yes, especially during the pandemic. Yeah. Okay. So I make no promises as to frequency with which I will do this, but I will do this when I have energy to, and when we don't have other things. And I will try to keep it to when my friends aren't also streaming. I saw too late that I think Brianna was also doing a stream tonight, so I apologize to everyone for having to choose between me and Brianna.
Choose your fighter.
But yeah, I will do this from time to time, particularly during the pandemic. And yeah, hopefully the D list that was supposed to go up today will be up tomorrow, hopefully, if it finishes rendering in time. For those of you who are Patreon supporters, you may have already seen the rough cut. For those of you who aren't, the D list is ranking the Star Tours The Adventures Continue planets.
I've been watching him edit this video for like a week now. It is going to be fucking baller once it's actually like in the can.
I stayed up till 3 a.m. 2 nights ago to put the finishing touches on it. Still didn't put the finishing touches on it. Woke up early the next morning, finished the audio, started rendering. It is still rendering, and that's why it wasn't up today like it was supposed to be. Normally, when a video's not up in time, I just postpone it till the next Sunday. But I can't afford to not get paid by Patreon this month. It does include the Rise of Skywalker editions. Yes, it includes.
Is very good.
I'm ranking all 10 planets from the Adventures Continue specifically. And if we're not streaming anymore, I guess we don't need the headphones up if we're not watching videos. So yes, it includes the Rise of Skywalker editions, and I have, I have stuff to say.
Yes. When the video comes out, please promote the fuck out of it because it's really, really good. I think this might be one of my favorite of your D-lists.
Oh, thanks, honey.
Yeah, well, I'd say that even if I wasn't planning on marrying you. I think it's really, really fabulous. And push the hell out of it. Dave needs more viewers because he's really good at his job.
I will also in future live streams, I will see if any of the other people who live in our house want to come on stream at any point. And by other people, I mostly mean Nick and Lizzie, because I don't think my parents have any interest. But
your dad could give a theology lecture.
Yeah, that's the channel. That's the content that will grow my channel.
You'd be surprised, dude.
Yeah, I'm pivoting away from theme parks and pop culture and pivoting straight to philosophy. And so yeah, that's the D list that will hopefully be up before too late in the day tomorrow. And then shortly after that, the rough cut of probably the World Showcase Armchair Imagineering will be on Patreon.
Another very good one, yeah.
And then also, obviously, on Tuesday, the next At Home with the Dogginses will be on Patreon. And probably the week after that will be the Q&A episode of At Home with the Dogginses. So send us your cues so we can A them. And this was fun. I'm glad you guys had fun too. I'm sorry I coughed so much. My throat has a frequent habit of betraying me, especially when I need it not to. But thank you all for joining. And
pardon me.
Speaking of coughing, thanks for joining. And until next time, this is Dave signing off.
Bye, y'all.